Okay, it's time for us to start getting a little more serious with our HTML. We are going to be learning about links in this video. Now, a link or a hyperlink is how we connect one page to another. It's literally the only thing that can connect one web page to another web page, nice and easily. It's how search engines basically create an index of the entire web. It lands on your website, you tell it what website to go to, and it looks at all the links in there, and then it says, oh, there's a link here. Okay, well, I'm gonna go over here, and just because you're linking to another website, I'm gonna grab all the links on that page, and I'm also going to create a list of those, and basically it just creates this giant list and says, okay, I'm gonna go to that one, and 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 that one. And that's how you get the web. It is a web of links. Now, links don't just have to be text. You often see them all over the place with images. For example, whenever you go on YouTube, you click a recommended video and you start going down that rabbit hole, that is a link. Or when you're on Netflix and you click on a particular movie or TV show to watch, that is also a link. It might not look like it because it's an image, but it is still a link. Now, links use a special attribute and a special element, and we're going to dive into how all of this works. And there's a few different ways that we can create links, which we're going to learn over the next few videos as well. So in my editor, I'm just going to create a new file and immediately save it as links.html. I'm going to go ahead and create my page layout. So I've got my HTML, my head, my body. In my head, I'm going to add a title, and that title is going to be links tutorial, something like that. And let's also add that doc type HTML5. Now, when we write some text on here, let's say we wanted to write an article about, I don't know, going to Google or Facebook or my website, Coding for Everybody. Let's say we're writing some sort of article like that. Let's do a lorem 50 here. It's going to create 50 words of lorem ipsum for me. And when I open this up in Firefox, we're going to see, just open up links.html here. It's just a bunch of boring text, nothing noteworthy in here. Now let's put a new line in here, new line, line breaks, 2 line breaks. And let's say, to read more, click here. All right, so it says to read more, click here, but we can't actually click anything. It's just regular text. So let's go ahead and create our first hyperlink. We're going to wrap the hyperlink around the words click here, and it's just going to look like this. I'll give us a lot of room to work with here because we have all the white space in the world. So this element is A, which represents a hyperlink or a hyper, I believe it's a hypertext anchor technically is what it's called. That's why it's an A tag. Then we use href, which is a hyperlink reference to whatever page we want to go to. And just like any regular attribute, we have the name of the attribute equals, and then something inside of quotations. So let's just go ahead and keep this empty for now. And let's grab that text and move that up. So at this point, we have a basic link. It doesn't work, but it will look like a link in our browser. So let's refresh Firefox, and you can see that there's some default styling and an underline there. So it looks like a link. Now it's not going to go anywhere when I click this. It just goes back to the same page. That's not helpful. So let's say we wanted to read more when we go to a website like Coding for Everybody. So I want to go to https codingforeverybody.com. Now this is an external link, and let's do this. So I click that link and it brings me to a brand new website. Now to get to that website, you need to have this part here where it says http:// or https://. If you are unsure which one to use, just ignore the S and always go with http://. That tells your browser, hey, this is an external link. Don't link to a page that's already in the website that I'm trying to make. A note about that is www. Will not work as well. And let's take a look at this. So when I hover over here, the bottom left, you can actually see that it's trying to go to desktop website /www.codingforeverybody.com. And that doesn't exist. It's looking for a directory because there's a slash at the end, or it's looking for a file called www.codingforeverybody.com/. Now that doesn't exist on this computer. It will not exist on your server. So what you need to do is you absolutely need to add that HTTPS. So HTTP, and you can see at the bottom left, it's going to change. And now you can actually see that it's going to www.codingforeverybody.com. I click that, and it goes to exactly where I want. Now let's say I wanted to open a link in a new tab, because right now, if I click this link, it just opens up in my existing tab. But what if I wanted it to always open in a new tab? And this is something that you generally want to do for people, is you, depending on the content, of course, but if someone is reading your blog and you maybe have an affiliate link to Amazon, you might want to open in a new tab so that they can close that particular tab and not close your content. To do that, we add another attribute called target. And we have a few different options here. We have blank, which is how we open a new tab. We have self, which will open its own window. You don't have to specify this one, that's the default. You have parent. This one's going to open links in the document frame if there is a document frame. Typically, we don't use too many document frames these days, so you're probably not going to use this one all too often, although maybe tuck that in your back pocket because you might need that one day. And lastly, we have top, which will open the link in the full body of the window. Again, not something that you generally use. So let's go with blank. This is going to open in a new tab, a blank tab. I'm going to refresh that page. My link at the bottom left still looks okay. And when I click this, ta-da, new tab, just like that. And so now I have two tabs here and I can keep clicking this and it will keep opening in a new tab. So just gonna close those. And that is really all there is to creating any sort of web of links. So when you have a web page, you're going to want multiple pages and you're going to be able to link to these multiple pages. Now, in a couple of videos, we are going to be learning about internal links and relative links. So this video is really only about external links. So if you wanted to link explicitly to Google or some other place that is not on your website, you would use this method. Your task for this video, I want you to create a new .html document, and this is all caps. It does not need to be. It doesn't really matter if it has the doc type in the head and stuff, just create a new HTML file. And then just create a link. So you have create a link that goes to any website you want. And if you can't think of one off the top of your head, you can always use my website, http://codingforeverybody.com. Save that file, open it up in your favorite browser, and then click that link and make sure that it actually opens that web page, wherever you're telling it to go. Just make sure it opens up that external URL. Once you're done that, we'll head on over to that next lesson where you and I are going to learn about internal links, how we can link to other parts of a page inside of that same page.